we're gonna really have to cook.
Is that a 10-4?
That's a big 10-4.
Hello everybody, welcome back to the channel. Welcome to the channel if this is your first time. So this is the time when I would do my monthly wrap up. This is actually a video that's going to be split in two. So you're going to see the last little bit of the month separate from this one. So I'm going to look a bit different. But I'm going to do a bunch of books that I've been reading or have read up to this point in the month. There's various reasons why I'm doing it like this. I've never done it like this before, but it's not a vlog where I'm doing each book. It's just a big bunch of them now, and then a couple at the end. Hopefully I'll get another couple read by the end. So this is August, so it's Garbaugust, and I started the month by reading The Doll Who Ate His Mother, a book written by Ramsey Campbell, the first book he ever published. He's a big name in horror. And this was written for Garbaugust read for Garbaugust for the Paperbacks in the Hell section of Garbaugust. And I buddy read this with Jess from Bad Is Rad and Greg from Another Boobiephile Reads. We were chatting away together while we were reading it, which was really good. And it started well. I think the beginning is really good, and then it kind of plateaus and becomes quite boring, really. So I was very disappointed with this. I thought this was going to be really cool. It's got an awesome cover in it, but I think it covers the best thing about the book. I've read other Ramsey Campbell and liked it, but this was definitely very disappointing. So that was a very low start to the month. And then I read another Garbaugust book after that, and I read Mad Love by Paul Dini and Pat Cadigan, and this is clearly a Harlequin book. Harley Quinn book, and this is written by the person who created the character as well, which is really interesting. And it was a graphic novel, but this is obviously a prose book, and called Mad Love, and it's got her origin story in it. She's like 7, I think, in the first part of the book, and then obviously by the end of it she's working in the asylum and then working with the Joker and sparring with Batman. It's really good. I really enjoyed it. So if you fancy reading something like this, I definitely recommend it. It's a fun read. And I didn't know what to expect, but I really enjoyed the experience of reading it. It was very, very good. So Mad Love, that was much better than my first Garbaugust book. So definitely recommend this one. So that was my second book. There was a book I was already reading when August first started, and I finished it at this point, which was The Third Love by Hiromi Kawakami. I've been praising Hiromi Kawakami for years on this channel, and I really like what she does. This was much more sort of real than the other things I've read, so she tends to do things that are, well, not always actually. There's a portion of her stuff that's quite fantastical and unpredictable. She's made most famous by Strange Weather in Tokyo, which is actually quite sort of reality based, and this is probably kin to that one. But Strange Weather in Tokyo, I think, is brilliant. This was really good. It's a brilliant idea, and it's written beautifully. But for me, for my own personal taste, it sort of dragged a bit for me, and I would have preferred it to be a bit shorter. It's not that long, but for me personally, this is one that I enjoyed the least out of all the books I've read by her, but I really like her. So just give you an idea of what it is, because I would still recommend it. She's a character who's trying to figure out her relationships with her husband and with this old guy that she's got a lot of affection for, that she meets, and she's trying to work out her feelings for these people and her relationship with them, and making judgments about what they do and what they say about their relationships and her husband's affair and things like that, while using the dreams that she has when she goes back in time to other parts of Japanese history to help her work out how she feels about all that. So you get Japanese history in this because you got this sort of historical fiction element to this book, because when she goes into her dreams, she becomes these characters in two particular times in Japanese history, and it is fascinating from that point of view. And not so much, I don't think it's, I think she doesn't normally do this, but there's quite a lot in this about the role of women in Japan, and how historically it's been certainly extremely patriarchal, and she's kind of references that in modern times and her modern relationships, but there's a lot about how the balance was wrong in Japanese history. So that's really interesting. And she's explored relationships in other books, but this is like a very specific thing that she's saying in this one, and a very specific angle that's really interesting. But for me personally, this wasn't one of my favourites of hers, but I'm really glad I read it, and she's still awesome. Hiromi Kawakami. Then I started a book that I'd been meaning to start for a while, because it's the second book in my Vote for the King project, where I put up 3 books by Stephen King that I own and ask you guys to tell me what to read. And this is the second one in that series. The first one was The Long Walk, which I loved. And this is Eyes of the Dragon. So he wrote this for his daughter Naomi when she was really little. And it's really clear that it's written for a young person, very young person. And it's kind of straight fantasy. And I haven't got that far yet, because I think I'm going to read this relatively slowly. It's not one of my favourite Stephen King books so far, but it's a really interesting diversion from what he normally does. It is different. I don't think it's obvious it's him yet. I don't know. Maybe there'll be some sort of rhythm that will kick in that will make it more obvious, but I don't know. But yeah, it's a really interesting read from that perspective. So Eyes of the Dragon is something that's ongoing. And then this is a weird one. This is one I found in a charity shop, and because I didn't know the person it's about, and because it's a series I really like, I thought I'd get it. So when I did my first massive great unhaul, I got rid of about 25 books that was in this series, the Oxford University Press very short introduction series. There's tons of them, and they are absolutely brilliant. They're such a brilliant series. I don't know if there's, yeah, there's a huge list of what's in the series, and I had so many of them. I had loads of them, and I thought, well, this is kind of a sensible thing to get rid of, even though I kind of miss them. But you know, you try to be harsh, don't you? But this is a very short introduction book about someone I didn't really know, Clausewitz. And really, I didn't really know him because I'm not really into military history, which is what this is. So he was a strategist and strategist. That's probably a better way of saying that. He was a strategist, and he's had a huge influence on military strategy since he was writing. When was he writing? Oh yeah, because he wrote this huge book called On War, which is actually down the road in a charity shop down the road. Just noticed it. Yeah, one of the truly great writers on war. At a time when the range of firearms was 50 yards, much of what he had to say remains relevant today. His experiences as a professional soldier in the Napoleonic Wars. So you can sort of get a sense of the time that he was writing. But it talks a lot about his ideas about war, his ideas about political power, and how that influences the application of war and how it's done. Talks about morale, talks about battle strategy. And this sort of thing, apparently, the author says, had a huge influence on later strategists and conflict, including Marx and Lenin. So Marx wrote about him, or at least referenced him, and Lenin's ideas, some of it came from Clausewitz as well. So yeah, it was kind of a big departure from what I normally read, but I was just curious because I didn't know who he was. So that was interesting. Then I've read what is probably, yeah, certainly the best thing this month so far. So I'm in the middle of this, but it's so cool. Mickey Spillane's The Long Wait. I thought I'd just pick this up. It's one of my cute corgi ones. I love these corgi books. And Mickey Spillane, I'd never read a Mickey Spillane before, but I've got a few. I thought I'd dive in, read a few pages, see if it grabbed me. It really did grab me, big style. I thought it was a really cool beginning, and I'm really enjoying it. So this is definitely a positive one for this month. The Long Wait, Mickey Spillane. And then the only other thing that I've been playing with, and it's the thing that I bought in Italy this year, a Taschen book about Leonardo da Vinci, which is his complete drawing. So a lot of it is his sketches and ideas and drawings that were partly his portrait stuff, but partly at the back here you've got lots of invention stuff as well, because he invented lots of things and he was a bit of a genius. So this is a really interesting book to read, but it's obviously mostly visual. So that's where I am at the moment. So I've still got Eyes of the Dragon to finish and The Long Wait, which I will definitely finish this in the next couple of days. And then hopefully I want to start reading CB Angel for Garbaugust. I do have the group read, the James Patterson book Zoo, because I got it out of the library to read. But we'll see how we get on, because we are getting towards the end of the month now. So there we are. That's where I am at the moment. Okay, so on to the second part of the month. So I did finish this, Mickey Spillane's Long Wait. It's the first time I've read a Mickey Spillane book. It's a nice little cute corgi one. I don't know if you can tell from how it fits into my hand, but I like this like sort of thing, you know. I'll talk again about the physicality of books, but I like this sort of thing. It reads really well. But anyway, yeah, I really enjoyed it. I think it's got all the tropes that you expect. The narrator's voice is very typically crime noir voice that you'd expect, but clearly Mickey Spillane was creating that genre at the time himself anyway. But yeah, I really enjoyed it. I thought it was slightly unpredictable in the sense that you wondered what was at the centre of what was going on. There's a bit of a mystery to it, and when it starts getting revealed, it's really a cool reveal, and it's like, yeah, this is a great way to finish the plot. So yeah, really enjoyed it. The Long Wait. I'm looking forward to reading another one at some point soon. I did finish this Mad for Decades, so I did mention this in the May wrap-up, I think it was, or the June wrap-up. Might have been the June wrap-up that I'd started this. So I did it relatively slowly. It's a bit of a chunker, but it's great. It's got all these different parts that are kind of great classic Mad magazine moments. It's always the caricatures that I love the most, and Spy vs Spy, of course. But there's Don Martin stuff in there. There's just, you know, if you know Mad, you know what to expect. It's a nice little summary compilation kind of book. So that was really cool. And then I read CB Angel. So CB Angel, I read this for Garbaugust. And this is a book on the road. This is a book that's been initially read by Roy from Roy Reads Anything, and then he sent it to Olly in Brighton, and then Olly sent it to MJ, and MJ sent it to Dave. Dave sent it to me, so I'm going to send it to someone else. I've got a couple of people in mind that are Garbaugust co-hosts. So what did I think of it? I really enjoyed it. I think it kind of reminded me of like Dukes of Hazzard, Fall Guy. It had a real sort of 80s feel. It was written in 1977, so it kind of makes sense to have that sort of 80s feel. But the way that the two main protagonists are sort of shuffling along this plot, being not having a lot of agency at first, but then being very hard-nosed in their reactions, and the banter between them, and when they're in trouble, they're kind of laughing off the danger. Had that sort of 80s vibe, and you know, the way that the cops are portrayed in it, But also this sort of character CB Angel. So she's actually called Foxy Lady in the plot, and her interactions with the others, and her part in the plot. You can see her being like, I don't know, a little bit part in an episode of Charlie's Angels or the A Team or the Fall Guys, stuff like that. So I can see that kind of plot being quite a common kind of thing in those days. So it was like watching one of those episodes, and there are channels on our TV at the moment that show those kind of programs. So I've been watching like things like The Fall Guy and Knight Rider, and what else have I been watching? I've been watching some British comedies from that period, but the American kind of men's adventure programs like The Fall Guy are a lot of fun. I've noticed that Chips is on one of the channels as well. I need to watch Chips again. I haven't seen that since I was a kid. So that kind of thing. I think it would probably suit my age group more than someone now, because one of the things that's a consistent thing through the book is references to the fact that one of the main protagonists is nicknamed the Lone Ranger, and the other one is nicknamed Tonto because one of them's Native American and one of them's just a white guy. So that's why they give themselves those nicknames, because they're on the CB radio and you always have these handles, and they are ex-Green Berets that have always been friends. And because one of them's Native American, they call themselves Lone Ranger and Tonto. So there's lots of jokes about it. There's lots of light-hearted dialogue about it, which will probably seem dated to someone younger. For me, I'm kind of used to that because I kind of grew up on that, so it wasn't really offensive or anything, but I did notice it because obviously we're in a different climate and you wouldn't do that now. So but they are laughing that off. Like the character that's nicknamed Tonto, Banks is his actual name. I've forgotten his Steve Banks or Steve the other one. I can't remember. Their real names got mixed up a little bit in my head when I was reading it. I think his name's Steve Banks, but he's Native American. But he wasn't. There was one bit in it actually towards the end. The whole book gets a little bit more serious towards the end. Like a lot of these kind of light-hearted buddy comedies, they often get more serious at the end. Just in general, that's kind of a recent thing as well. As the tension rises when the threat in the plot gets bigger. So there is a moment when he does talk about what the state of the reservations are like and what it's like growing up Native American, which is only a little bit of the book, but clearly Larry Adcock, the writer, wasn't ignoring that, but there was definitely a light-hearted approach to these nicknames that they'd had, and I guess the other people on the CB radio that were talking about them probably had a visual image because they had that sort of ethnically referenced nickname. But it's a part of the it wouldn't. I don't think it would have been. It would have been quite normal for that kind of thing to be part of the handle or part of a nickname in general. If you were working in, as a fireman or as a cop or as in the services like the Navy or the Army, you'd often have a nickname that was referencing your nationality or your ethnicity. That was really common in those days, and it would be very looked down on now. So that kind of dates it a bit, but I did find some of this genuinely funny. So some of the banter with the cockiness of the characters, I just sort of read it as part of the atmosphere of the time it was written and the atmosphere of the setting. But there were some lines I thought were genuinely funny, so that was fun. But yeah, I really enjoyed it. I thought it was the sort of twist is not massive. There's a little twist at the end that's not a massive twist, but I enjoyed it. I enjoyed the way they wrapped up the plot and the reason why Foxy Lady, the woman that's helping them out, who's not that woman, that's just a random picture, but the reason why Foxy Lady is helping them out is really good. Yeah, I like the way it was wrapped up as well. So it was read for fun for Garbaugust as part of this ongoing book on the road thing, which is a great idea. So I think we've all done a review of it. But I remember looking at Roy and Olly's reviews when they did it. I think Roy's was back 2 years ago. So yeah, it's quite nice that we've got this book that travels around like a truck. But anyway, yeah, I did enjoy that. I thought it was a lot of fun, and it was nicely wrapped up at the end. So I thought I was going to finish this, the Hiromi Kawakami book that I read some of during the month, but I didn't get to finish this. So I'm probably going to finish this in September when I read a bunch of short books anyway. But that's a series of short stories. And I haven't finished this. So I'm reading this quite slowly because I'm not loving it. But I definitely need to carry on with it. And it feels like something I can nip back in and out of. It's definitely a children's book. Well, I say it is a children's book, but there's some sort of sexual references in it, which is kind of interesting. But anyway, I need to finish that. So I know last month I ended the wrap up with some sad news about Chico, and I did a compilation thing at the end with him as a puppy and growing up, and I wanted to do that, and it was quite upsetting doing it and quite upsetting watching it back. But this time I'm going to end this video with a little snapshot of one of the great things that happened this month was our festival appearances. So we played at a few festivals, and August is a great month for that. And yeah, Beamers have done some good things lately. Next month, this month in September, we're going to be rehearsing for the big recording day in October, where we're going to hopefully get towards the finish line of the new album we're doing. But in the meantime, I'll show a bit of that. And thank you so much for watching. And thank you for all the new subscribers as well. Thank you for all the comments. There's loads of really cool stuff happening on this channel in September that I've already got scheduled up, and some interesting things. I had a great one thing worth mentioning, by the way. Big thanks to Chris from Liminal Spaces for a really good Desert Island Flicks. If you haven't seen that, check that out. And also, I did my 2K subs live stream with Jack from Spreadbook Joy. So massive thanks to Jack as well, and all the people that tuned into that, and all the people that you know, have become friends on here because of all that kind of thing. So yeah, thank you for watching. Stay curious, everybody. Forget.
wish I was wise, I wish I was better, I wish that I understood. I wish that I was on top of the road, I wish I did all that I could. But I try to give back what I get. These are amazing. I try to give back what I get. I try to give back what I get. Yeah, believe me, I try to give back what I get. My time is wasted, my time is elusive, my time is marking sometimes. My time is a disguise, my time is distracted, my time is the source of my crimes. But I try to give back what I get. I try to give back what I get. Yeah, believe me, I try to give back what I get. Oh, I try to give back what I get. I know so many people around me just get things done. Get through the world, so they just jumping like a smoking gun. Don't get up and let the key to the scene they are. So my life is amusing, my life is chaotic, my life is ahead of itself. My head is a jigsaw, my head is a sketch, my head is no good for my health. But I try to give back what I get. 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 I try